And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday, November 20th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome here on a Wednesday morning. The fog is about to lift, and the sun is going to shine through, I believe. We welcome you on this Wednesday, and we get started each Wednesday talking about Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. Melinda Bounds is with us this morning. And let me tell you that Melinda is Senior Vice President and Relationship Manager for Cedar Stone. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, I've got to thank you. I already thanked you, but I want to thank the bank and thank everybody here publicly on the radio for putting on your marquee at Cedar Stone, at least here in Lebanon, Lions Club Pecans here. So we appreciate that and appreciate you helping us take care of the sales.
Well, we thank you for the opportunity to let us do it. And like I was telling you a minute ago, I bought a bag yesterday and keep it at my desk. It's healthier to eat a little handful of pecans, I think, than it is the little Snickers. So I feel like I'm doing, something good by eating the pecans and not the chocolate. But anyway, we're happy to have them.
Well, hopefully Bob McDonald is not too far away, but of course he's president and CEO and usually does the commercial, but occasionally you get to do it, and occasionally he'll send his son Robert.
That's right. He's on assignment this morning, and Robert is as well. So here I am.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
Well, first off, I want to congratulate our sweet friend Susie for being selected to be on the board of directors of the 2025 Tennessee Association of Broadcasters. So that's a well-deserved selection on their part, and I know she's going to do well and represent the Middle Tennessee area.
Right. Does take a little time and effort to do it, but it's kind of giving back and certainly an honor to be asked.
Yeah, and I don't know where she finds the time to do something else. I mean, I know her plate is already full. I saw her at Kiwanis the other day, and we chit-chatted about things we always chit-chat about, and I totally forgot about it and didn't congratulate her, but anyway, well-deserved.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. One of the other things that I always talk about when I'm here is fraud and scams and things like that. And I just don't want anybody to let their guard down because it's still out there. One of the big ones right now that we're seeing, and it's because of the time of year, I'm sure, is, and I've even gotten this text. I got it last week it looks like it's coming from the U.S. Post Office. And it's telling me that I have a package that they can't deliver because the zip code is not correct, and they need me to click on the link to verify my zip code so that they can send me my package.
So they're that subtle.
Yeah, and the thing is, it looks like it's coming from the post office.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I noticed was the phone number, and instead of a 615 444 or something, it's a +63, and then the area code and the phone number. And so I know it's not a real thing, but I just want everybody to be aware that these texts that you're getting about, a zip code or something like that, it's a scam. Don't click. And they're targeting us now because everybody's shopping. Right. And although we all need to be shopping local, every now and then you order online, and you do have packages coming in, and so they're hitting at the right time. But be aware, and if you're waiting on something to come in, don't click that link. If you think that might be it, go to customer service of the place that you ordered it, pick up the phone and call them, because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a scam, and once you click on that link, you're going to start given information, and it's happening to the smartest of people. Yeah. You don't have to. It's happening to people that are aware of scams and stuff. They think, oh, well, I've got that package, and I've never ordered from this company before. I guess this is how they send this, so let me click on this and get it straight because I need it. So.
Then they got you.
Then they get you. Yeah. So.
Well, appreciate you pointing all of that out. Just and maybe a little bit more so at this time of year. So
right.
Be even more careful.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
What else is going on? You're still lending money?
Lending money, opening accounts, and we were talking about it earlier. The lobby is so busy, in and out. People are are wanting money. People are opening accounts. And they're in just genuinely good moods, you know. And I don't know if it's the season. I don't know what it is, but it's fun to hang out in the lobby with our customers and chit chat, and we enjoy being around them.
Well, one of the best ways to get started and establish that relationships is with that Simply Better free checking account, and I know it's a great one.
It is.
I don't know of one that's better. I'm not sure there's any that's as good with all the perks that go with it.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. It's been considered a free checking since day one, and we don't charge for your foreign ATM fees, and you get your checks free. And for those that do still want to write checks, all the bells and whistles that go with a checking account, mobile app, mobile banking, mobile deposits, and it's really, I've heard from so many customers who, might bank somewhere else, saying that our app is the easiest app it's very, very user friendly, the app and just online. So we're happy, we're proud of that.
All right. Well, we've about come to the end of our time here, but Melinda, good to have you with us today, and I hope everything goes great. We appreciate seeing you.
Great. Thank you.
Melinda Bounds, Senior Vice President, Relationship Manager for Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. 10:30 after here on this Wednesday, and let me welcome Mark Hinesley, my guest this morning from the Mount Juliet West Wilson Chamber of Commerce. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm kind of glad to see the fog lifted. It didn't bother me. The sun was already trying to peek through when I got in my car a while ago, but if your car was outside, there's a lot of water on it this morning.
Had a little bit of moisture on it. That's right.
Yeah.
Better than frost.
Maybe it did, for all I know.
Better than frost.
Yeah. I slept well. I don't know whether it rained or not.
It was pretty this morning. I think we're in for a little run of sunny days.
Yeah. It's good to see you, of course. And I was thinking this morning, one of the first things that's going to come out of your mouth is actually already been spoken by Melinda, but shop local.
Yeah, this is the season. And I want to take a minute and introduce Ginger Naylor. She is with Pinnacle Bank, and she is a representative this morning of something that a lot of people listening are familiar with. And we're going to talk a little bit about TN Community and the Shop Local effort that the banks, a number of banks went together, I guess, coming out of COVID, and pooled their resources and made it possible for residents to swing by the banks, pick up basically a gift certificate that was good at a lot of local places, and then the businesses redeem that back to the chambers, and they get their check, and it really is a win-win for everybody thanks to the generosity of the banks. And they have their marketing folks and representatives that kind of make sure everything comes together. So she's here this morning, Ginger, to share a little bit about TN Community from the bank's perspective, and why this is an important program for you folks as well.
Good morning to you, Ginger Naylor.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. One of the main reasons why we think it's important is because of the small business, is to give back to the community. But also we felt like not just giving back to the local businesses, but also try to give back to the people that are in our community. We kind of got together as different banks, and it's actually been quite fun just collaborating with all of the banks and learning about each person that represent the bank. And so basically, we are giving money to the people that are in our community for them to go out and spend money in our community. So it's a win-win. So basically, the banks just get a pool of money together, and we're like, hey, let's go for this. Let's give out some coupons. So each bank that is involved has the coupons at their location, and you can just go by and pick it up. And I believe it's $10, right, Mark?
That's correct.
So $10 off. So I don't know many items that are $20 anymore, but if you got something for $30, then that's still a third of the price off. So, but we just encourage you to go out and look at all the small businesses that we have. They're so amazing and so wonderful and so great to our community. And also, it's free money, so why not take advantage of it?
That's it in a nutshell.
Well, it really is, and And we've all been there, whether it's booster clubs or, know, nonprofits, whoever, hey, we'll get so-and-so to sponsor it. And these businesses step up time and time and time again all year long. And it comes down to, they call it Black Friday for a reason. They're make or break in the last couple of months of the year. It's a real important time. So, think about all those times that they let you sell the cookies outside their business or have your car wash on their parking lot or sponsor your parent-teacher thing, whatever it is. Take time to go visit and spend money. I find it interesting that some people they won't buy from anybody local, but they'll buy because a movie star or an athlete tells them it's a good deal, instead of supporting maybe the family that they go to church with or their kids go to school with. So as Ginger was saying, there's a ton of really great, unique local businesses that would just love a chance at some of your money this year rather than sending it to countries unknown and cross your fingers. So
yes. And also, too, don't sit on it because last year they sold out quick.
Yeah.
So go by the banks early. We started giving them away on Monday, and then they can use them starting
Black Friday, I believe.
Okay, yes. No, it looks like November 29th through December the 8th. So starting Black Friday all the way for a week.
Yep, that's right.
That they can use it. So go by there this week, any bank. And also you can go to Facebook 10 Community, and it will tell you all of the different small businesses that are involved, and then also the banks that you can go to and pick up your coupons. And then the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce and the Wilson County Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, both of their websites has all of the details, every single place that you want to shop, every single place you need to go pick up your coupon. So it's pretty simple, and it's free money, so why would you not?
Yeah, and I last Friday, we had, I guess it was a week ago Friday, at our community development meeting, the focus was shop local, and it was kind of a panel discussion, and TN Community was there to talk about that. We had a Julie Rooswell that owns the Basement Marketplace. She's probably got 50 small businesses in her building, retail, unique little shops, talk about it. And then we broke down, if somebody spends $1 or $10, how much of that is the sales tax and where it goes. And no organization benefits more from you spending your money locally than the Wilson County school system. At nearly 50% of the sales tax collected goes back to the schools. So,
and if that doesn't trigger you, I don't know what will.
So
Give to the
kids
students.
or grandkids, every single dime makes a difference.
Yes.
And I'll go ahead. We'll go to a break. I see the clock ticking, and he gets a little. He gets a little. It's antsy when that happens.
Break here on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford. Get a battery installed in most vehicles. $149.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're still in the cleanup stages of a couple of wrecks we had out here a little bit earlier. It's trying to improve over here now, trying to get past the airport. We had that crash on 40 westbound earlier near Fessler's. It jammed it up through the Donaldson area. It's starting to load up again on 24 East, trying to get past that Jolton exit. I know that crash was out there earlier as well. In the cleanup stages of a wreck there at Bell Road at I-24, that's actually looking a little bit better. It's just crowded there in Antioch this time of the morning. Whether you need a new roof repair, roof inspection, call Independent Roofing Specialist. Check out irsroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is in a new location, 1746 West Main in Lebanon, across from Sports Village. Gregory Dental Group offers cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs.
No insurance? No problem. Call about the discount plan. Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322.
It is. It is.
And we continue here for this Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us. Mark Hinesley is one of my regular guests. He comes once a month and represents the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. And I told somebody even yesterday, I think it was, between you and Justin Beasley, we find out a lot about Mount Juliet here on Coleman and Company.
And let's just say one of us is really good looking, and we'll leave it at that, too. So if you haven't met Justin yet, you're going to see who I'm talking about. He's a cutie. I can't say that.
Well, what else is going on?
Well, we were talking about shop local, and, one of those is, I know Mayor Bell's coming on next, but just like in Mount Juliet, Lebanon, we hear from residents that, can you get this? Can you get that? I'd love. I was on vacation, and I went to this place, and, boy, we'd love to have that in our town. And most of them, I don't know, 15 years ago, you might have had to go, hey, let me tell you where we're at. We're just east of Nashville, and we do this. But I promise you, most of them already know. They've got checks that they got to, or boxes they got to check off. And one of those is not only, average income, but density. How many people live here? Mm-hmm. And it's really impossible to say, we'll get you a really nice restaurant or we'll get you this, but at the same time do everything we can to keep businesses. Oh, we've grown enough, so there is a fine line there. Mm-hmm. But, they just keep coming here. Melinda was talking about the commercial loans. It's like it's in some ways it's about the best times we've ever had. Money's tight. Commercial money is expensive to buy right now, but just one intersection up on Mount Juliet Road and Lebanon Road, we've got 5 or 6 restaurants coming within walking distance of that intersection. I mean, somebody could hit a golf ball to all of them. And if you go out by the Golden Bear, that's where the new Hyatt Hotel, the new entertainment complex with a bowling alley, In-N-Out Burger, Texas Roadhouse. We broke or cut the ribbon on another, I don't know, it's probably 40 or 50,000 square foot, 5-story office building. I guess one day last week. They all kind of run together. And that's a great market for Wilson County as businesses try to figure out what they need for office space. Maybe they don't need floor 28, 29, and 30 in a tower downtown and then try to figure out how to get people down, but they can kind of relocate and push out to a smaller office building in a more desirable location. And Wilson County is just sitting every day that airport in Nashville gets closer to being done is better for everything east of there. So it's amazing.
Let me throw this out. We both cities, I think, went over the 40,000 mark in the last census, and for sure both have. What difference does that 40,000 mark make?
Well, you'd probably have to talk to somebody. I'm sure Sarah, would know what that is and which ones. I suppose the higher the item, the cost, if you're talking about a Ferrari dealership or a hamburger place, it's probably the numbers would clearly be different. What your average check is and how far would people drive? And, the JECDB office has a very robust website that will not only show you this particular location, pick any location in Wilson County, they can show you within not only 5 miles of what there, but a 5-minute drive or a 15-minute drive. And those don't necessarily equate to a mile a minute type thing. So that's very valuable to the employees. A business might also say, we'd like to come, but we need this many employees with this skill set. And so there's a group of folks that have been working since the late 80s in Wilson County at the JECDB to keep in touch with the businesses, find out, and then you start working with the universities and TCAT and the schools, making sure that we have a product that's going to come out the door that's going to be able to keep our kids and grandkids with good, high-paying jobs in Wilson County. And it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, a lot of things take a really long time. Central Pike Interchange, we've been waiting on that for 20 years or more. And
so we're going to wait a few more.
Yeah, we're going to be waiting a few more too. But and we talk about education, and I don't want to. If Rusty was here recently, I'm sure this has already been talked about. But we talk about how proud we are of having a. Even Williamson County doesn't have a private 4-year university in town, and we're blessed to have Cumberland. But I think there's representative students from maybe 49 countries. Courtney was saying the other day. It hit me. They sent out an email, and those listening, think about this. There are a lot of students that come from foreign countries that can't go home for Thanksgiving. And the cafeteria is going to be closed. So if you are so inclined, you can go to Cumberland's website, and it doesn't matter whether it's $50, $5, $500, but Wilson County residents and businesses pitching in to make sure that the students that don't get to go home with the cafeteria closed have a little extra money to eat and food if you want to drop off dry goods. They may have done it before,
that's
but
great.
I got an email and I thought, now that's something I can do.
Yes.
You always say, I want to help somebody. Well, here's a help. Here's a way to do it. And if everybody just give a couple of bucks or pitch in, those students that are here, they're going to fall in love with Wilson County if they haven't already. In Lebanon, where do you think they might want to go actually work?
I just had an idea and wondered how this would be if I was on special assignment and instead of having one host, have co-hosts and let it be you and Dr. Paul Stone.
I think he's a little too picky for picking his friends. He might want to be careful who he gets his picture taken with, but that's just touches every part of Wilson County, and they've done such a great job too of making sure that the kids that are graduating from our high schools have an opportunity to go, on the basically for 2 years on the state's dime, and I think he was smart enough early on, and not a lot of them were. If I can get them in here for 2 years, they're never going to want to leave.
Yes.
And, this is one small way that whether you have ever even stepped foot on that campus or not, if you got a heart for giving, maybe you could help out. Can I mention real quick, our building permits are up again. We're still we're tracking way ahead of last year. We've had 183 business licenses, building permits. We've had 219, 18 commercial. And our sales tax in September, which is last month, I have set an all-time record high of just short of $4 million. So, and again, keep in mind, half of that goes to the school system. We got a great luncheon today. I guess it was on Tuesday, 29th of October. We had a consultant come in and work through with our board of directors. We have 4 new directors coming on in January and put a strategic plan, kind of look in the crystal ball and say, what do you want to be when you grow up, Chamber? And so we got some homework to do, and we're working through that. But that really is kind of giving us a clear picture of what we need to do to service our community and our businesses for the next couple of years.
There are a number of things that take place in Mount Juliet and West Wilson to kind of bring people together. And down there, there are a lot of people who didn't grow up there, as we all know. But it seems that the Chamber of Commerce, you look for ways to unite people, to get them together, all part of one big community.
Yeah, we can't guarantee anybody that joins the Chamber that somebody's going to call you that afternoon and say, hey, I want to come in and spend, but what we do, and we is 800 businesses, probably, 2,500 people that get our emails, whatever, but it's, we can create opportunities, and a lot can happen if you can get like-minded or maybe even different-minded people in the room where they can talk and meet people. I think Ginger would say, people probably don't just pop into the bank without ever hearing about it or don't know anybody. It really starts with a relationship, and you hear that. And people want to do business with people they trust. And you heard Melinda when she was here. When you get the ones you buy from somewhere else, heck, they're maybe trying to scam you out of it. So, the Chamber does some things well. Everybody knows we hand out welcome packets and cut ribbons, and we got some shovels for some great groundbreakings coming up. There's one in a new school out in the Glade. I think that's on December the 3rd maybe. But at the end of the day, we just try to create an environment that's a great place to do business. And since Ginger's made a special trip to be here, tell us real quickly, we've got about a minute here, about your purpose this morning.
Okay. Well, my name is Ginger Naylor, and I work for Pinnacle Financial here in Lebanon, across from the hospital beside Stroud's. Bless Stroud's heart, they They had a little incident. But anyways, I'm here just to support the community. I am a financial advisor with Pinnacle, and I am born and raised here. I love this community. I love so many people in this community, and I just want to continue to see it grow and for us to just unite. And I do want to put a plug in for the Mount Juliet Chamber. They are so welcoming and so loving, and they really, the people that are outsiders that are coming into Mount Juliet, go there and check it out because they will make you feel at home and help you do anything. So, Mark, you do an amazing job with the chamber, and we really appreciate you.
Okay, and you've got, when do you start picking up those bugs?
Oh, so you can pick them up starting on Monday, this past Monday.
Right.
And then you can start using them on Black Friday.
Right.
$10 coupons.
All right, we'll
Yes.
keep all that in mind. Ginger, really nice to have you with us today.
Thank you.
You've done a fine job. And Mark, you always tell it like it is.
That's it. Hey, I hope you have a good Thanksgiving, too,
Yes,
okay?
happy Thanksgiving.
Tell Helen happy
All
Thanksgiving.
right, same to you.
Thanks.
That's part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more, so why don't you keep it right here, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota. Ride it off the lot, ride it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Trying to improve a bit on 24 East at the Jolton exit there at Whites Creek Pike on the scene of that earlier crash. It's still a bit busy over here through Donaldson right now on I-40 as you work your way past the airport. Still not too bad coming in right now from Wilson County. It's still trying to load up with volume on 24 westbound up through the Antioch area. Hey, when you need dependable towing, make sure you call STR Towing and Recovering, serving Davidson, Dixon, Cheatham, Williamson, Rutherford, and Montgomery counties. Check out their website at strtow.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedar Stone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment for the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, Cedar Stone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Good morning, Wilson County. This is Jordan Davis
and Elise Ingram
from the Wilson Central FFA chapter, here to share with y'all what's going on in FFA this week.
Monday kicks off Ag Literacy Week, where FFA members around the country make an effort to engage and teach elementary school students about agriculture and FFA.
The members of the Wilson Central FFA officer team will be going to elementary schools this week and reading to classes of students to teach how agriculture impacts them.
Make sure to keep up with Wilson Central FFA on our Instagram and Facebook. Have a great day.
We welcome you to part two of Coleman and Company. Here on Wednesday, we're going to get right underway. Mayor Rick Bell is here, and Mayor, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is nice to see you today, and always good to have you. And in fact, I saw you for a minute yesterday.
You did. We had a big event yesterday.
Well, what I'm referring to here, and what the mayor's going to talk about for a moment, is a recognition of Fred Burton's time on City Council, and it was quite a nice reception. I didn't know you were going to have lunch. I would have probably skipped my meal at the Senior Citizen Center.
Now, Coleman, you should know that if Fred's around, we're going to have free food.
There's another one for you. You were right. Well, but it was well attended.
It was.
But we were just on our way, Helen and I, to the lunch Senior Citizen Center. Well, let's stop by and say goodbye, or at least show Fred our appreciation or whatever. And all I was planning to do was walk in and say, hello, Fred. Goodbye, Fred. And that's about all we did. But there was a lot of the city people were there, and I'll bet he had a really good time and enjoyed it.
It did, and as everyone knows, Fred Burton, has been on City Council for 30 years, and he chose not to run this time. And as he said last night at the City Council meeting, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and they figured after 30 years it's time to fold them. But we had a reception for him yesterday at City Hall, and a lot of city employees came, and not just current city employees, but retirees, and the city councilors were there, but also former city councilors that he has served with in the past, and his friends from the radio station, you and Susie, were there. So it was a great day. We a lot of people told stories about Fred, and
there's a lot that can be told.
There's a lot of stories out there, and some of them are radio safe, some of them aren't. But it was it really was a good day. I think Fred had a good time. His family was there, and we were able to give him some gifts. And last night, at the city council meeting, it was really nice too. We honored him there, and just and said, and all, the council all said nice things about him. And at the end of the meeting, I actually gave him the gavel to close out the meeting with. But it's Fred, as I said yesterday and last night, for 30 years he's represented Ward 2, but really he's been a big part of this entire city. He's been involved in some of the big decisions over the past decades that has really put us where we are, and he's known my family for forever, and he's someone who, as a counselor, and this is for me and everyone he's worked with, he's been a friend, but he's been a mentor too, because I can assure you, Fred knows. He knows all the tricks of the trade when it comes to being a city councilor, and he's passed that knowledge along. So I appreciate everything he's ever done, and what we did for him yesterday was well deserved, and I appreciate everybody coming out and supporting Fred.
All right, you had a meeting last night, and any big items, big news coming out of that?
Well, there's a few things, but I want me to say one more thing about Fred, and I'm saying this for you guys. Fred did retire from city council. He did not retire from the radio station. I just want to make sure that's clear. He's still going to be on the radio on Saturday night. So.
Starting about 7 o'clock.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but we did have a meeting last night. As you know, we did not have a meeting on election night. Right. So this is the first one in a month, but there were some things that I think were important that happened. One of them was some reappointments to some committees. Debbie Lowe, who serves on our planning commission, she was reappointed last night, so I appreciate her volunteering to serve on that commission. And then our Lebanon Housing Authority Board, Nathan Harris, who's been on that board for a while, he was reappointed to that, so I appreciate Nathan doing that as well. And one of the things I tell you all the time, Coleman, is that we have a lot of boards and commissions that citizens volunteer to be on, and we couldn't operate without them. And so I appreciate them doing that. So we announced that last night. One thing that I know is important to people is last night on second reading, the council approved the bids for this year's street paving and street striping. So we'll start that process now. We'll get some of that done this year while the weather is warm. Some of it will be done in the spring once things warm up again. But there's a long list that we have of streets to be paved and striped. So we will get to those streets this year before it's over.
Right, and of course, the longer it stays warm, or when we have some warm days, and maybe a little can be done, but you don't once it gets winter time, you don't get a lot of that done.
You don't, and it's a weather affected industry, and so it has to get done. And honestly, we're a little late this year because the meeting we got canceled, and so we couldn't get to the second bid until last night, or the second reading. But we have it now, and so it's official, so we can get moving, and they'll get as much as they've done before it cools down this year. But I just want everybody to know that it's probably going to be split up a little bit.
Is this something that's bid out? I mean, does the city do any paving, really?
We don't. It's bid out to companies all the time. Now, our guys will go out, do small things like, potholes and things like that throughout the year. But when it comes to paving a street, this is something that we bid out to a private company every time. And it's a big job. And
how long does it take the bids to get out and to get moving on this? It's got the appropriations got to be approved, which was last night. Was that second reading?
That was second reading last night, so it's done. Of course, there's a process, and city council has to approve actually putting the bids out. But really, though, this is something we do it every year. and there's companies that expect it, they're waiting on it, and so it's not as long as maybe a more specialized project, because there's a lot of paving companies out there, and again, this is something we and cities all over the place do, and so they're set up to get to it quickly and get those bids in. So but that will start. We'll have a meeting here in a few days with the winner, and then we'll move on from there.
Well, I take it that probably some of the ones that need it the worst will be maybe at the top of the list.
That's the way it works. So we go out and study the streets. There's a list, and sometimes the counselors and I we get to add a few to the list, but really it's based on which ones are worse, which ones have been the longest since they were paved. And
maybe that's used the most.
It is.
Enters into it.
That's true, because we have streets that are used more than others, obviously, and so there's a lot of factors that go into it. But our guys go out and they study it. They look at them. We know where they are, and and I know people see their street and they want it paved, but there is a list, and there's a priority list, and I promise we'll get to you sometime. But right now we have this.
Well, it's good to know that help is on the way.
It is. It's coming.
What's next?
Also last night, and talking about some infrastructural stuff, on second reading they approved about $20,000 in state street aid to improve some sidewalks in the Cherry Street, East Spring Street area, improve them, make them more ADA compliant. And I mention that because that's important to people in that area, but I also mention that because Fred sponsored it, and that's the last thing that he sponsored for his ward. And he's always a master at getting things like that done for Ward 2. And so he got one more thing done, and that got approved last night to get those sidewalks fixed and make them again ADA accessible. So.
Speaking of sidewalks, we've got quite a project going on North Cumberland.
We do.
On both sides of the road in places, I think. And, of course, it's with all the orange barrels there, you need to be a little bit more careful when you're driving, perhaps, but it won't last forever.
It won't, and I will say this: I've gotten a few calls about it. I know people are talking about it in that part of town. This is something we've been looking forward to for a long time, and now it's under construction. And construction is a mess. It is. When I first became mayor, TDOT was building sidewalks in front of Kroger, and that was a mess. But now it's nice. This will be too. But I've also had some calls, one former city councilor actually, about concern about water runoff and things like that, and why are sidewalks going in before 231 gets widened and all that. This is a TDOT project. Okay, it's not our project. It is TDOT. 231 is a TDOT road. It has been engineered, and I know that it looks messy now, but I assure everyone that once they're built, there won't be any water runoff, anything like that. I mean, they have been engineered correctly. And also, we had someone ask last night at the city council meeting about, why are we putting sidewalks before widening it? Well, we are not doing it as TDOT. But also, I know a lot of people in that part of town have talked about how 231 needs to be widened, 231 North. And we talk to TDOT about that all the time. We really do, about, the growth out there, the traffic. For TDOT, it is not high on their list. They say the traffic numbers do not warrant that to be widened yet. And quite frankly, as Jeff Baines said at the meeting last night, it may be another 20 years before it's widened. And so, these sidewalks are badly needed. We know it. TDOT knows it.
You don't want to wait 20 years.
We don't wait 20 years to get sidewalks. Yeah. And so I know a lot of people want that road widened. I know personally I think it's needed. But TDOT, who controls that road, they don't think that. And so I just want to assure everyone that we're talking to them all the time about it. But ultimately, they make the final decision, and they're not there yet.
Well, let me just throw this out here. I mean, I know that there's more apartment houses being built in that area, and assuming that you have what the average probably not 100% occupancy, but occupancy gets way on up there like the average would be, you're going to have more people. Is there going to be? You have any idea that would cause them to change their mind sooner?
Well, right now I don't know what the number is on traffic, but yes, obviously they've said it requires more traffic count to widen that road, so more cars will get them closer to making that decision. So it's sort of a catch-22. Mm-hmm. I know that you mentioned apartments. We've passed rules to slow down the building of apartments, but there were some that were approved before that.
Right.
They're grandfathered in, but we have more things coming to put regulations on developers. But ultimately, when it comes to roads, especially state roads, that's up to TDOT, and we have a lot of state roads in our city, and Main Street, 231. The bypass, and even out on 109. So we work with them all the time. We have a good relationship with them.
Gainesville Road, a state road?
Gainesville Road is a state road. Yeah. And College Street is too, to East Main Street. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't realize that. So, we're working with them. We talk to them, and we appreciate everything they're doing. But, we like to have more, and we ask them for it all the time.
All right, Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is here, my guest this morning, as usual, after each city council meeting. We're going to take a break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, get a regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts oil. Tax and disposal, $17.80 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a little bit slow. Trying to get past that Jolton exit on 24 eastbound at Whites Creek Pike from that earlier collision. So it's still heavy right now. Westbound Vietnam Vets there in Conference Drive. You still got all that traffic flowing in right now from Hendersonville, Sumner County in that area. Trying to get into Davidson County. It's loading up again, but it's moving 24 as you head westbound up through Antioch, coming in from Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. Whether you need a new roof repair, roof inspection, hey, call Independent Roofing Specialists. Why? Because they're the best. Check them out at irsroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The Dancing Lights of Christmas, Tennessee's largest, longest-running, and most affordable drive-through light and music show is back. We're talking 3 million lights spanning a 2.5-mile route, all synchronized to some of your favorite Christmas tunes. After the lights, Santa's Village is loaded with food and fun, a petting zoo, pictures with Santa, even a helicopter ride above the lights. Take the short drive out to the Wilson County Fairgrounds to make some Christmas memories that will last a lifetime. Open 5 p.m. nightly through January 4th. More info at thedancinglightsofchristmas.com. Family owned and operated for over 15 years.
This is Sean Dozier. Harshside Senior Living is celebrating our 30th anniversary in November. Harshside is a legacy ministry serving generations of senior adults throughout our community. When I walk through the doors daily, talk with the residents, and see firsthand the dedicated employees, I am reminded of the sacrifice of those who made Harshside what it is today. For more information about our independent or assisted living communities, visit harshsideliving.com.
Coleman and Company, Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell. We hadn't talked about the Georgia UT game.
We haven't. Morning. You left that out.
Well,
Coleman, I was expecting it. You got a little flustered at the beginning.
We hashed that out with Jennings yesterday.
Oh, I heard. I listened to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was I won't say it was a make or break game, but if Tennessee could have won that, they'd really been sitting pretty.
Oh, it'd have been a big deal, But I knew it'd be tough to go down there. And of course, Mike, he analyzed it yesterday better than I could. He was there, but I knew going down there would be difficult. It always is. And Tennessee hasn't beat Georgia in a long time. So.
But on the brighter side, I mean, I didn't look, but I feel sure Georgia was favored at least slightly.
Yeah.
And the fact that you didn't win that, I mean, that's not the end of the world. I think the closeness of it and all of this, it shows that you've come along.
I think so too. And of course we have a tough game come up in 2 weeks against Vanderbilt, but yeah, it's like earlier this year. It was after the Florida game, I think, and next day I was over at my dad's house and he was talking about it and he was kind of complaining about how bad they played, and I said, well, at the time I think we were 5-1 or something like that, and I told him, I said, well, we're 5-1, just beat Florida, ranked in the top 10, and we're and we're complaining about how bad we played. That's a lot different than it was a few years ago. So we're in a lot better position than we were back then. In 2020, the year I was elected to mayor the first time, we lost 8 games. So being where we are now at 8-2 is better than being 2-8. I can assure you that.
Oh, no question. That's what the Titans are, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. I guess we better get back to last night's meeting. I don't think we've covered all your notes here.
Well, there's one thing last night that happened down at the River Oaks development on 70 down by Palmer Road across from Five Oaks. That's development has been going on for a long, long time, and the front. By the highway is commercial, and so there's a business called the Goddard School, which is sort of a high-end daycare. It's an educational facility. They're wanting to go on the corner of Palmer Road and the highway, and so they came in with a plan to make it one of the entrances in their parking lot off Palmer Road. Back when I was on city council. The people who live on Palmer Road, especially in the South Fork subdivision, they vehemently said they did not want any entrances from River Oaks onto their road. And so when I was on council, I actually had a thing approved that said that would not happen. Well, when the Goddard School came in and wanted an entrance in their parking lot, they had to go back through the process. And so last night that was on the agenda for the first reading. Several neighbors showed up and talked about Palmer Road, which is a road I'm on all the time. When I go to Nashville, we typically go that way. And so there is traffic on it, and they said, they just didn't want more traffic on it. So Phil Moorhead, who represents Ward 6, he made a motion to deny that access. Now, Goddard School can still have access to the traffic signal at the entrance of River Oaks, and there'll be another entrance onto the highway between that light and Palmer Road, but he did agree with the neighbors that there should not be an entrance on the Palmer Road. So that was voted on last night, and so that'll be the end of that. So the Goddard School can move forward, but just without that entrance. Mm-hmm. And so that was probably the biggest thing we had last night, and something that people came out and talked about.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that with everyone. But as far as last night's meeting, that was those are really the big items. There were several internal things we need to vote on, and some things we need to get fixed at City Hall and one of the fire stations and things like that. But ultimately, the items that people will see out there, those are the ones that we really voted on last night.
Well, let me just inject another thought, because a lot of us wonder about money, especially if you're short sometimes.
Yeah.
The city has evidently done an outstanding job of creating emergency funds or rainy day funds, or we've got a good bank account, but still you have a budget, and of course that budget is approved and goes to effect 1st of July. We're approaching halfway. We're not, we got, nearly 5 months of the 12-month fiscal year. But I just was wondering, just how are we looking at this point? Because I'm sure you and, what's his name, Mr. Lawson?
Yeah, Stuart Lawson.
Y'all pay a lot of attention to that.
We meet every month. In fact, we met last week, and going over the recap of where we are right now. Everything's looking really good. Our sales tax revenues are coming in at record levels. And, we're still recruiting more to come here to help strengthen that. We just started the process of people bringing in property tax, checks, and so
we all got our notices about October 1.
Everybody, I got mine too, and so and I the thing about it though, Coleman, is I got mine from us. I got mine from Jim Major. Ours is a lot less than Jim Major's. I just want everybody to know that, so. But that obviously we have to February to pay those, and so but we know what that number is going to be in the end, and so but everything's looking good as far as revenues go, and spending as well. That's the thing we check every month is where we are. Are we spending correctly as we go through, and we're still in line with that. And so as you said, we have a great reserve fund that really helps us, that if we run into emergencies or something we need.
We might be, and I'm guessing a little, but I'm thinking from what I've been told, maybe we might have as much in reserve and be in as good a shape in that respect as we've ever been.
Oh, I think we are.
Yeah.
I have no doubt we are. We have about $50 million in a fund out there, and not only does that help us have that in reserve in case we need stuff. Another thing is it helps us with our bond rating, and when we go out and borrow money, that helps us with that too. So it's something that it's great for everyone to be able to have that.
As long as you don't act like a drunken sailor, as they're referred to, and go on a great spending spree that's wasting. Now, there's good expenditures, and there can be bad.
That's absolutely true. And when we spend money, we try to spend efficiently. We try to spend on things that we think we need and the people want. One of the things that we just talked about was paving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, paving is not really in the budget. Okay, every year when we approve paving, that's actually coming out of another that fund, and so, but it's something we do every year, and everybody knows it's coming, and so we understand. Okay, that money is there for that, so it's almost like it's in the budget, but it's not, and so we have that money out there, and I can assure you, from my perspective, and I know the counselors as well. We're not going to go out there and waste money. I mean, it's just not going to happen. And if I put something in front of them that's some kind of a spending item, I feel like it's something we need, or I wouldn't agree for it to go on there. But ultimately, they have to make the decision, and they have to agree we need it too. And we talk about it, we discuss it. They ask a lot of questions, and we all keep a really close eye on what we're doing up there when it comes to that. And that's something I'm proud of.
Well, I kind of interrupted your plans here, but what else we need to talk about?
Well, that was really
5 minutes.
That was really it for the meeting, but there are some things I want to talk about. Some events are coming up. November 29th is the Shop Local, Shop Small Day. That's a program we do every year to promote small, locally owned businesses. It's a nationwide program, but
the chamber's involved.
And the chamber's involved in that. Yep. The banks are too, with the 10 community bucks. Yep, right. So they're available right now. And so go out there and as you start shopping for Christmas, go out there and spend money with our local people. It's important to them. It's important to us too. Just like as we were talking about, sales taxes are important, and so that's something that's really good. But not just that day, but for all the days. Remember our local businesses. Also, the Christmas parade is on December 1st at 2:00. The Lebanon County Chamber of Commerce puts that on. Melanie and Andrea work hard on that. So get you a good seat on Main Street. Come out and watch the parade. And on December 2nd at 5:00 at the City Council Chambers will be our swearing-in ceremony for all the city officials who got reelected. That's Joey Carmack, Jerry Ashley, who replaced Fred Burton, Tate Bryan, and myself. Got reelected, so we'll be sworn in that night. We'll have some food, Coleman. So if you come, don't eat before you get there, okay? And so that'd be a big night for us as well. And then also I want to mention our Christmas tree lighting last week. As I told you last time, we moved the Christmas tree this year to the Mitchell House, and we flipped the switch. The tree and the house all came on at the same time, and there were about 1,000, 1,500 people there. Kids, choir singing, and Susie was just telling me that Gordon didn't want to leave, and so a lot of kids had a great time. It's very safe. On the square, there's a lot of traffic, and last year Mike Justice, our police chief, got a little nervous about it. So this year we're able to use that big yard that Wilson Bank owns in front of the Mitchell House. I thank them for helping us, and we were able to close off that section of North Castle Avenue, and kids got to run around and have a good time, had food trucks, activities. Santa Claus was there. But I really want to thank our city employees who helped put that on, our public works department, and all the other ones who helped do that, because without them, all that couldn't happen. They're the ones who made the Christmas magic, and I really appreciate them doing that. But if you get a chance, if you want to get pictures made, please go to the Mitchell House, get out, walk around. It's designed to be walkable. You can walk through the lights, and so anyone who wants to do that, drive through the big Christmas lights at the fairgrounds, and they come see our lights in town, and it'll be a good night for everyone.
Well, we've got a couple of minutes left. What does that take care of you?
That's it, yeah.
What's going to happen, say, from now to the end of the year, business-wise for the city? I mean, of course, you're hoping people are going to shop here more than ever. The more they shop here, the more sales tax.
Absolutely. You know, and I talk about all the time, Coleman, the more people shop in Lebanon, we can take that sales taxes and provide services back to them. And so it's really important to stay here and shop and to spend money here. But, this time of year, honestly, internally, things slow down. With the holidays coming in, there's not as many people asking for things. There's, and so for us, it's like the business. This time of year, a lot of people take off some time, and we have Christmas celebrations and things like that. But as far as the city as a whole, it's a busy time of year with events, with the Christmas parade and some of the things I just talked about.
Right.
But ultimately, this is time of year that people go out and shop and buy gifts and celebrate. And I will say this, Coleman, and I think this is the most important thing is that, this time of year, we do all those things, decorate Christmas trees and light up our houses. But really what it's all about is it's about, the birth of Jesus and celebrating him. And so I just want to say that's the important part. We have all these extracurricular activities, but really that's the focus. And so that's what here in Lebanon, that's what we're focused on. So yeah.
And before you go, we got 30 seconds. Don't forget Thanksgiving.
We do have Thanksgiving coming up next week.
Next week, and I guess city will be closed Thursday and Friday.
We'll be closed Thursday, Friday. We'll be open Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we'll be closed Thursday and Friday. We'll have those days off. And I do hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. And I guess you won't be out here either, will you?
That's right. Get a couple of days off as well. Same ones you do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us. See you next time.
Thank
Mayor
you.
Rick Bell, and that's it for a Wednesday. Until tomorrow, I wish you a wonderful day.